This is a demo on how to use the Wellness Checker application, which is a cloud-based application that you can access from anywhere at any time. We will go through 3 different iterations for different departments: rehab, ICU, and leadership team. There's a QR code that corresponds with your role or department. Scanning it will take you to your group's wellness check page. And we are currently on the rehab page. If the role listed at the top of your page is not your role, inspect the URL in your browser. If you are an employee at UCMC, that should be the location in your URL right here. If you work at Westchester Hospital, it should say WCH. Following your location is your department, in this case, rehab, ICU, or LDR. Unique to the rehab page is role differentiation. There is a separate wellness checker survey for PT, OT, and ST. For this demo, we'll look at the PT wellness check survey, which contains all standard questions. First one, are you having a good day? Well, yes or no. 2A, what is your stress level today? So please specify your personal level of stress. Best is thriving, everything's okay, no issues. After that, there's surviving, it's not great, but we're coping. Then struggling, not doing well, and in crisis, something needs to be done. Question 2B is optional, but it could help us know more about what's happening and how you are. Question 3A is how you think your team is doing today. We've got the same options as the personal level of stress: thriving, surviving, struggling, and in crisis. 3B is also optional, but it will help us get a better picture of how your team is. Number 4 is optional, but we would love to hear about any feedback you have for this application. Next, we'll look at the Westchester Hospital ICU Wellness Check Survey. Questions 1 through 4 are the same as rehab, but this survey also collects your role and shift worked. Please indicate your role for question 5 and the shift that you are working for the period that you are filling the survey for. The last iteration of the wellness check survey is Westchester Hospital leadership team, so LDR. And this survey is for the leadership team. In addition to questions 1 through 4, please indicate how often you lose sleep over work-related issues and how often you feel anxious during the day. In addition to filling out the survey, you can also view a summary of your team's stress levels by clicking on the Summary tab. This interactive chart will allow you to choose the time range that you would like to view, as well as data from specific roles or shifts if applicable. If your role does not work weekends, select the Monday through Friday in the drop-down menu to see a better trend of how your team has been doing. You may also set the minimum number of responses needed in a day to be shown on the graph. This top graph will indicate the proportion of good day versus bad day responses for a general overview of how your team has been doing for a given day. On the right, you can see the total number of responses by role or shift. So you can see for speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy here. Moving to this larger graph, along the bottom, are the responses for the day. The taller the bar, the more responses. The colors correspond to the 4 wellness categories. Green is thriving, yellow is surviving, orange is struggling, and red is in crisis. This black line represents the team stress level based on the individual responses. The higher the number, the less stressed your team is overall, with 100% being everyone at thriving. At the bottom, there are word clouds representing the most commonly used words for those who responded as either in crisis, struggling, surviving, or thriving. The higher the frequency of the word used, the bigger the word appears in the word cloud. Finally, this last graph shows the total number of responses in each of the 4 wellness categories indicated by the colored bars, as well as the cumulative percentage of responses across the categories. This concludes the wellness check demo. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to the research team.